You're sitting in the silence, drowning in the doubt. I've been sitting there before. I know there's a way out. The world feels like it's caving in. Those dark thoughts, don't let them win. Just stay. Just stay. I know it's almost more than you can take. Please just stay. I swear the light will find you someday. And you'll be glad you stayed. So just stay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Just Stay podcast. It's just Kenzie and I this week, and we love having guests on. I felt very good about our last couple episodes with our guests. I love talking to people and getting their insights, and it just kind of revives my need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's also really nice to just have me and Ken's to regroup and bring it back to where it started.
Yeah, I feel like it's been, I don't know, I learn a lot through, I know I've said this multiple times, but I learn a lot through other people's stories and all of our guests that we've had. Every single time I've had the thought, I really needed to hear that, you know? It's always something profound that I learn. So that's why I'm always like, if we're not doing this for anyone else, at least I feel like I'm learning and becoming better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree. The same thing as you. It's been so great to have our guests. And I think that every now and then it's nice for it to be just us too. Like we get to kind of regroup and I guess kind of get on the same page again. But I don't know. Both are so great.
Mm-hmm.
Both are so great. So
Kenzie and I just got back from a meeting that we had with East Idaho Mental Health at Beacon Integrative. We had mentioned on our social media a few weeks ago that we were planning an event and we were going to be helping with an event. And we went over some details today and I'm so excited. It's on September 27th. And we are going to be doing a floating lantern lighting in remembrance of those that we've lost or people that are struggling or people that just need to know that they're not alone. One of my favorite components of this event we're doing is they have beads. They have necklaces. And when you check in, you choose what color necklace you resonate with the most. So like I will wear white beads for loss of a child. I forgot what color your beads would be.
is it blue or something?
Blue for like personal.
For like your own struggle. Yeah.
We're just really excited about it. We're going to be releasing more information, but I mean, if you guys would like to be involved, we would love to have as many people involved as would like to. It's, we started talking about doing a walk and doing a bunch of different things. And when we came up with this idea, her name's Kristen, when she came up with this idea, it felt so peaceful to my soul. Like I loved it so much. And then we're raising funds to be able to pay for therapy for those that can't afford it. and not just within the Beacon Integrative Clinic or the East Idaho Mental Health, but anywhere. It's like a scholarship fund for people that need therapy.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I think it's really great for us to feel like we're doing something, because I know that we talk about it and we try and spread awareness that way, but by actually putting it into like physical action, I mean, I know that's what we're doing now, but for some reason, the thought of going out there and doing things to raise awareness as well, that just is really important to me. And so I just think it could be really cool. It could be a really cool experience. And we're probably going to be blasting it on our social media just because we want a lot of people there. I feel like we have a pretty big following of like teenagers, high schoolers, that age. And we want them there as well. And we want middle-aged, and we want older people, young people. I mean, literally all ages. I can just imagine families there of all shapes and sizes, and just showing their support and trying to spread awareness for this cause. And I just think it's a really beautiful concept. So we'll definitely be putting information out there about the details, but we would love, if you would love to be involved, please reach out to us, because we would love to have as many involved as possible.
Mm-hmm. We've also been tasked with we want 3 speakers. And these speakers, we need to share their story of hope and resilience and loss. Or if you know of anybody that you think fits that and would be good at this event, please nominate them. We would love to just find the best people for this job, to tell their story, to give the message of hope. That's what this event is about, connection and hope. So we'd love your guys' input, and we will be releasing a lot more info as we can. So we're going to have an episode dedicated to East Idaho Mental Health and what they're doing. And yeah, so that'll come in a later date.
Yeah, I think that's a really exciting thing to look forward to, though. And I don't know, I think about, because obviously my daughters are going to be there and my husband, and just thinking about seeing my girls there and participating, even if they don't really understand it, that's really special to my heart, you know?
Yeah.
And I know it's a really tricky concept for even for younger kids to understand, but I'm really grateful for opportunities like this to be able to expose my children and show them,
open the dialogue.
Exactly. So,
I think it's so powerful that your girls are going to see you be involved in something so important. And I think they're going to realize when they're older, how strong their mom is. And I think about that a lot with this podcast. If anything were to happen to me, or, life this last year has taught me you never know what comes. And I feel like this podcast and what we're doing is a legacy that we're leaving for our kids.
wow.
Our voices will be forever with them. They will always have access to our vulnerability and our voice. And,
I really love that. Yeah. I've had that thought before of, there's this fear in me that if something were, I know it's my anxiety a lot of the time, but if something were to happen to me before this podcast, I felt like my girls were young enough that when they were older, that they wouldn't have anything really to remember me by. Because it's not like I sit around and take videos of myself talking, you know. I had that thought with music because I used to be very big into singing and music and recording, and I haven't done that in years, really. And I had the thought one day, oh my gosh, if something were to happen to me, my kids wouldn't have any videos of me singing anymore because I don't really make that a priority anymore. But it's the same concept. Like, this is kind of almost like a little, like a public diary that they will have from us. And I think that's a really beautiful thing that gives it a whole new meaning for me, actually.
No, I really like that. I think I just know how special those little videos or tidbits that you get, little pieces and little glimpses of somebody that's not here anymore, is just so special. It's so special. Yeah, and I hope that one day, even if it's like 40 years down the road, that these recordings can offer them a glimmer of comfort, you know?
Yeah.
This Friday is the year date of us losing Eliah. And I made a plan early on that I was going to go visit my grandparents. Anytime in my life that I've really struggled or had a hard time, they're kind of my safe place. They're my safe people. They're my safe place. They're really the people in my life that make me feel loved and like taken care of. And I thought that it would be best for me to go like spend it up there. And of course I had to take into consideration of what my family needed, but they all kind of jumped on board, and I'm actually, it's giving me something to look forward to. I'm shocked at how many people remember this day. Like, people, one of the other reasons I wanted to go to Montana is I needed to hide out. I don't get cell phone reception. I haven't told a lot of people this, but my son passed away the day after my birthday. And so Thursday is my birthday, and Friday is when he passed. And I don't feel like there's anything to celebrate. I don't want to acknowledge it. I just want to pretend like my birthday's not like something I'm looking forward to. So I just wanted to go to Montana where I couldn't hear happy birthday, where like I just want it to go by. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to get it over with and have it go by. But I had a realization this week. And I'm doing what I feel like me and my family need to get through this hard day, a couple of days. And people this whole week, like, I'm getting text message after text message of just checking on me, of people just care. And I'm being reminded of that when I'm wanting to like hide out and isolate. This is me wanting to isolate and do this by myself. And I need to let the people love me. We always talk about connection, and we always talk about isolation and getting us through these hard times. And people are showing up for me again this week in ways that I'm like, it just amazes me. It just amazes me. Like, once again, the kindness of people are going to carry me through this week again, even though I've done everything I could to push them away. And I just appreciate it, you know. Even some of the boys from the baseball team are like doing a balloon releasing memorial for him at the baseball field, and that is so special to me. I'm not going to be there because I feel like I know what I need, and I'm sad I'm missing it, but I'm so honored that they would do that for my son.
I just don't even know what to say. I think I just always try to put myself in your shoes, and it's not healthy for me.
Yeah, don't do that.
But I can't help it. And I really can't even fathom what that would be like. I don't really understand grief or really have much of a relationship with it because I've talked about this before. Like, I really haven't lost anyone very close to me, but like kind of witnessing what you've gone through. Maybe it's too soon to ask this, but like with the year coming to a close and you've had this whole year of firsts without him, what kind of feelings does that bring up? Like, does that make you sad that those firsts are over? Does it make you feel a little bit of relief? Does it make you ache even more?
Honestly, this year has gone by incredibly fast. And in my mind, it feels like a blur, like a dream. I feel like I'm kind of floating by, disconnected a little bit. This has been the fastest year of my life, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I survived this year and that my family survived this year. But the farther away we get from when he passed, it's like missing somebody so much and then like just getting farther and farther and farther away. Which is crazy because in the grand scheme of things, I'm actually getting closer, right? And I know that in every year that passes, I'm getting closer. But there's certain really hard things that are coming up. Like sometimes when I close my eyes, I try to like picture his face and I can't. It's almost like I can't remember, like I can't pull those memories from my mind. And when I try to picture him, I can't see like details. When I close my eyes and I picture him, I see like a spiritual being, but he doesn't have like his face. It's not like I can't see his curly hair. And that's sad to me. It's so in my mind, it's so everything that surrounds him is so foggy. And I'm worried that the longer time goes, I'm going to lose him completely. I knew this episode was going to be emotional, and I even questioned like not putting one out this week. And I want to uplift people. I don't want people to listen to us and feel sad, but I hope that if somebody's listening, they can hear my pain. I want them to know how much it hurts when you leave. He's been gone for a year, and I don't miss him any less. And I don't love him any less. And it's overwhelming to me to think that these feelings that hurt so much are going to be with me forever. But the truth is, like, everybody's checking on me because it's a year and it's a hard day. But that day's not any harder than every other day. It's just another day without him, like all the other days.
Well, I think that the feeling of this episode is entirely appropriate for the week that it is and the day that's coming up. And I think that, yes, obviously this is a sadder episode, but I also think that it's important that people, like you said, see this side. And you are vulnerable enough and brave enough to show that. Because a lot of people don't get to see this. And so maybe there's a kid out there that's listening or that sees this and is like, maybe I'm not going to do this. So I don't want you to be worried about, not uplifting people, because we really try and do that every episode and give hope and stuff. But this is like 100% complete honesty and vulnerability coming from you. And a lot of times I think people need to hear that.
There's, at the cemetery that we buried Eliah at, it's calm and it's peaceful and it's surrounded by, I think they're big oak trees. And I went one day in the spring and they had been cutting these oak trees, not down, but they were big and full of life. And they had like full branches and, like they were huge. And I had talked to somebody, and I guess this winter during some of the big storms, those oak trees were falling down and breaking some of the headstones. And so they were trimming them and cutting some of them down. And it made me sad because Eliah's in this little like cove of trees, and there's one blank spot in the trees and you can watch the sunset. And it's otherwise completely surrounded by trees. And so in the spring, those types of things, like they kind of bother me because I'm like, these trees are one of the reasons I picked this spot. Like this, I love the trees. I love the birds that like, you can just hear them chirping while you're sitting there, and, it's very peaceful. And so I was actually really upset than a normal person would have been. I was so worried they were going to cut down the trees. And there was one tree in particular that was huge. And I remember this tree because I went one night to visit, and there were two owls sitting in the tree right above me. And they were just like, who, like back and forth, sitting right next to each other. And it was really just a cool experience. And that tree was gone. It was cut down into this stump that was maybe 4 or 5 feet tall, like all branches, just a stump. And so I was kind of upset. And as I've watched it this summer, there's this stump that was once beautiful, and now it's quite plain and ugly. And as the summer has progressed, these branches are sprouting from the stump that I thought for sure was just going to die. Like, I didn't think there was anything left to grow from. And so now I go and there's like new life sprouting all over this stump. And I think I needed that. I was upset because it wasn't big and beautiful anymore. And it was like the strong oak had been torn down. And it reminded me of like my life. I'd built this really strong, happy, healthy life. And one day it just got torn down. And so I think as I was looking at this stump, I'm like, I know how you feel. You're hollow. Like I related to this stupid tree stump on so many levels because it was like a reflection of me. It was plain, it was brown, it was just like dead. And now when I go, I see this big stump that once was a huge, beautiful tree. And I see this new life just sprouting from it when I thought for sure it was impossible. And I still see my reflection in that. I'm not as big and strong as I once was, but there's like new life sprouting from something that once was. And that stump gives me hope. And I'm like, okay, if this stump can do it, so can I.
That's really beautiful. I just kept thinking while you were telling that story. I'm not saying that you weren't this way before, but I feel like you've become a person that finds so much meaning in the little things. I just kept thinking if I had walked by a stump like that, or if I had even seen the progression like you did, would I have recognized that, or would I have, made meaning out of that? And I think that's like a really beautiful quality. I think that gives you so much more depth as a human. And I'm not saying that you weren't deep before, but the way that you find purpose in little things, and then you're able to turn that into something good, like that is such a gift. I really I was like, while you were talking, I was like kind of racking my brain, like, do I have a story like that I've noticed around? And no, I think that I am so like, sometimes I just have such blinders on that I don't really pay attention as much, I guess, to the world around me. And I think that maybe I'm wrong, but I think that grief has done that to you. And I think that losing your son has done that to you. Because it like cracked you open. But now it's like these beautiful things that you're learning about yourself and that you're recognizing when I think other people wouldn't, I don't know. I really love hearing about these little Brandee tidbits. Like they're really special. And like you could write a book. You could write a book of all these little experiences. Like I'm not kidding. They're really special and reflective, and it just really amazes me.
Yeah, I kind of have wondered. I've noticed this about myself this year. It really has only been since this year. And I don't know why I'm more observant of it. I don't know if I'm like desperate to see good or desperate to see anything, but I was watching a show and it was about like the Pilgrims and the Native Americans and the war. And there was a Native American man that was really angry and he wanted war. Like he wanted to rid the lands of the white men. And he came to his mom and was trying to convince her. His mom was the chief, and he was trying to convince her of going to war. And she told him, you need to spend some time with the Mother Earth so that you can basically regain perspective of what is important. And she just, the way she said it, I mean, I'm butchering it, obviously, but she just said, all the answers you're looking for, Mother Earth has. And in my mind, I was like, I know my God wouldn't put me here without all the tools I need or without the comforts I need and when he created this earth, what did we have?
Yeah.
We had the earth. And that's all we needed. And I think that's why when I like spend time in nature, when I'm fishing, when I'm floating, when I'm on water, like that's when my spirit feels calm. That's when I feel the closest to joy. And I feel like that's a gift from God. And so these little tidbits, these little insights that I have this year, I know they're little mercies that I'm being given to help me get through this year. I mean, I'm not saying I know everything, but I feel like I have a deeper understanding of life down to like the very fundamentals. It's not the big house. It's not the nice car. It's not the fancy job.
I feel, as you were talking, I was thinking about now off topic, kind of, whenever I hear mercies or tender mercies,
I know.
I think of Tendy Mercs.
Me too. I almost said Tendy Mercs.
Tendy Mercs.
And in my head, I can hear it too.
It's so funny.
I was driving the other day and I saw something. I was like, there's a Tendy Merc.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I was just going to say that, I mean, I think not comparing like my pain to yours, but I just, after last year, I really didn't. I feel like I've had to find other ways to, I guess, help me help myself.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole life, I didn't really care for what I care for now, like plants and growing things. And for some reason, just like in the last year or two, but especially this year, I've just become so like enthralled with growing things and being outside. And so every morning and every night, I take off my shoes and I'll just walk around in the grass and like get my hose and bring it over to my garden and, water my vegetables, water all my flowers. And I have this little bush or this little plant that I get really hyper fixated on things. And I had seen that there was this beautiful climbing rose bush, but it's called a Peggy Martin rose. And I had seen it. It caught my eye on TikTok. And I was like, gosh, that is so gorgeous. How can I get one of those? And then I started seeing that like they really only have them in like the South because it's warmer there. But I started doing research and you can grow them here. You just have to protect them during the winter, So I found a seller and I bought one and had it shipped here from Louisiana. And it came and I had to baby it for a little bit and finally planted it so it can grow on this trellis. But the reasoning behind me getting it was because I saw that the story why it's called a Peggy Martin rose is because during Hurricane Katrina, they had, people had these roses on their homes. And there was this woman that had it. It just covered her house. It was gorgeous. And then Hurricane Katrina came, destroyed everything. And this woman wasn't able to get her house cleared out for weeks. So this rose, climbing rose that had, grown all over her house had been covered in salt water for like 6 weeks or something. And she had thought there's no way this is going to survive it, And it ended up coming back and surviving and thriving. And so they've dubbed it this kind of symbol of like endurance, resilience kind of thing. So when I heard that about this rose, I was like, I freaking need it.
Mhm.
So I ordered it. Basically, it came and it was this tiny little pitiful looking shrub. And I was like, are you kidding me? And so I planted it, and literally for weeks and weeks and weeks, like it's been months, because it probably came in late May or June. And I've just been like tending to it and making sure it's has like the perfect conditions to grow and thrive. And I kept thinking, I'm like, man, it hasn't grown at all. I probably like ruined it. Like I probably did something to hurt it. And then sure enough, I had started noticing like 3 weeks ago, it started sending out these little shoots. And then it was like one morning I came out and everything was all dewy and just beautiful. And there were these little buds. And the joy that it brought my heart was ridiculous. I told Tanner, I was like, I almost started crying because I really thought there was no way. I mean, I had been through so much trauma through being shipped all the way up to Idaho, and I know it's not used to this weather. But anyway, now it has like, I mean, 20 or so blooms on it, and it's tiny, but it has these shoots that's trying to wrap around the trellis. And I don't know, it's just like something that brings me so much joy. And I know it sounds ridiculous to other people maybe, but to me, there's just something about, I mean, granted, I love the symbolism of this rose, but there's something about nature, and there's something about putting your feet in the grass, and just that's just like so healing to me. So when you were talking about that, I was like, I can totally relate. Like I know the feeling that you were explaining, because it's something that just like helps my soul. And so I'm really grateful for those tendy mercs, because we need them. It sustains us.
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me of that saying, grow where you're planted. Like that plant doesn't necessarily thrive here, and it may struggle, but it's known for resiliency.
Mm-hmm.
And I think God probably feels the same thing about us. Like sometimes we're planted in places in our life where it's not easy for us to grow. And sometimes we're put in situations where we feel like we can't make it. And a way is provided for us to grow where we are planted through love and constant care. And just like you were with your roses, like somebody is doing that for us.
That's a really good analogy.
So maybe this episode at the end of the day could end up being a little bit hopeful. It started off rough, but see, every time we record, I needed this.
Same.
I've been holding this hard back all week and ignoring it, think it was going to go away. And sometimes I just need to talk through it. And then there's always these aha moments of like, okay, there's the hope.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the light at the end of a dark tunnel.
I just want to second that, because I knew what was coming up. I knew it was going to be hard for you, obviously. And then for some reason, and maybe it was kind of some dread, like not wanting it to be hard for you. And then also like wanting to be there for you, but not knowing how to be there for you. And so I think I was kind of making myself a little sick over it because today I had the thought, oh my gosh, like physically, I'm just not feeling the best. Maybe I should just tell Brandee, like, we're going to have to skip this week, And I'm really glad we didn't. because why do I have to learn this lesson over and over and over again? Because I feel like this happens all the time, but I always feel better. Like
Yep.
I always need this.
Yep. To be honest, like I've loved doing this podcast, and I was kind of dreading this week. I was almost like, let's skip this week. And I think that's the benefit of you and I doing it together is I never want to let you down, and I never want to let our listeners down. And I needed this. And I'm sure the people out there that listen to this and that I know there's many people out there that have been worried about me this week. Maybe they just needed to hear, like, I'm getting a lot of text messages saying, hey, how are you? How's this week? And I'm like, good. I'm fine. I'm doing as good as I possibly can at this moment in my life right now. And some days are harder than others. And I just appreciate this safe space to be able to talk out the good, the bad, the ugly. And yeah, I needed this, and I'm glad we did it anyways.
Me too. Well, we are so grateful that you guys joined us another week for the Just Stay podcast. We're very, very, very thankful for you guys, for our listeners, as always. I know we say that every week, but we just feel really thankful. We did this because we wanted other people to feel seen and feel heard, but I feel like in turn, we're getting the same back, that we feel seen and we feel heard by you guys. And it's just a really great feeling. So with that, we hope you guys have a great week. We hope you know that you aren't alone and that we're always here. We'll see you next week.
See ya.